All Again by Charles Wesley Godwin is going to be played in standard tuning and then capoed on the first fret of the guitar. From this point forward, I'll be speaking of these chords and these frets as though the capo is the nut, and I'll be calling them frets like 1, 2, and 3 instead of their real frets of 2, 3, and 4, and I'll be saying shapes like G chord, even though technically this is, I guess, like an A flat based on the capo. So let me talk first just about the rhythm, because there's just kind of this persistent rhythm that's happening with the right hand in most of the song. Down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, down, rest up, down, down, rest up, down, down, down. So like that sort of feel, and it might not necessarily remain that exact just down, down, up the whole time, but that feel, like sometimes you can, just as long as you keep that rhythm, like down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Just anything kind of in that feel that is a kind of a chuck beat strum. You're going to need to know an E minor, a C chord, a G major, and a D chord for this, and then sometimes the C is played as like the C add 9 that looks like a G major chord, except for move down 2 strings or up 2 strings. The song begins on an E minor. The way I'm going to be playing this is second finger on the 5-string 2 fret, ring finger on the 4-string 2 fret, and then use just kind of a big strum down from the high string to the low string. And then immediately after that strum down, it falls into our strumming pattern. So I think that Charles Wesley Godwin is playing just a straight rhythm part and is not actually playing the riff with the rhythm. So if all you want to do is know the chords for the verse without knowing the riff inside of it or the intro, it's going to be an E minor to a C to a G to a D, and I'll explain how to make those chords in just a second. But with the little riff in the intro, 5-string 2 fret, then lift your ring finger off of the 4 string and hit that 4 string open. And then after that 4 string open, you immediately fall into a C chord. So for the C, I'm putting my ring finger on the 6-string 3 fret, pinky finger on the 5-string 3 fret, second finger on the 4-string 2 fret. I've got an open 3 string, and my first finger is going to go down on the 2-string 1 fret. I'll have an open 1 string. So it's mostly just a C chord that will move into a G chord, but at the end of the C chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. So moving from the 3 to the 4 beat, you hit the 5-string 3 fret, and then just take the chord off the fretboard, hit the open 5 string, you'll hammer on with your second finger to the 5-string 2 fret, and then hit the open 4 string and the open 3 string. So then you fall into the G chord. So far we've got I definitely slowed down in the movement parts. Like, it doesn't speed up and slow down like that. So once we're in the G chord, same rhythm. G chord. The G chord is going to be second finger on the 6-string 3 fret. Ring finger needs to pull back to the 2-string 3 fret. Pinky finger should pull back to the 1-string 3 fret. And you can just let your second finger block out the 5 string, but you'll be using this 5 string for a movement in just a second. So G string or G chord. So inside of the G chord, during the 3 to 4 beat movement before it goes up to the D chord, you're going to hammer on with your first finger to the 5-string 2 fret. So you hit with your pick the open 5 string, hammer on to the 5-string 2 fret, then a kind of down up, and then strike the still fretted 5-string 2 fret and pull off and hit the 6-string 3 fret, and then you pull up into the D chord. So in the G, so the D chord is going to be an open 4 string, and you can hit the open 5 string too. I'm pretty sure that I hear the guitar player actually hitting that open A there, the open 5 string. So open 5, open 4, first finger pulled back to the 3-string 2 fret, ring finger on the 2-string 3 fret, and then you can either leave your second finger off of the 1 string and just let it ring out, or you can avoid the 1 string and just go down to the 2 string, or you can just full out fret the D chord and put your second finger on the 1-string 2 fret. And then you hit the beat or the rhythm on the D chord, and then it rolls into the verse. Now what the verse is the same chord progression, but basically twice the speed. It's going to be an E minor to a C chord to a G chord to a D chord. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you're just hitting 2 beats per chord. After the 4th round to the D, you hear. So the way that you do that, out of the D chord, you'll. So a down, 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 up is where we're at in our kind of strumming pattern. So you'll hit the D chord and pull off your first finger from the 3-string 2 fret and go with your pinky finger to the 4-string 4 fret. hit that, you can let the 3-string ring open. You can let the 2-string with your ring finger still on that D note come through. And really, if you want to go all the way down to the open 1, you can. So it hits that again, and then it hammers on to the, you open up the 4-string and hammer on to the 4-string 2 fret with your 1st finger. So you've gone. And then open the 4-string, and then you walk back down to the E minor by going 6-string 3 fret with your 2nd finger, 6-string 2 fret with your 1st finger, back into the E minor. So slowly, and I think I might have messed up the rhythm on that, but the D, yeah, that's the way it runs. D, pull off. For some reason, I can really only hear this riff if I'm playing it at speed. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what it does the first time through. The second time through, it walks up into the C because it brings us to the chorus. So that whole progression happens. And it does it 4 times, and on the last D, you're... Except for here, instead of walking down to the E minor, you walk up to the C. So an open 5-string, 1st finger to the 5-string 2 fret, 2nd finger to the 5-string 3 fret, and here is where we're going to make that C chord as a C9 shape. So I'm reintroducing my ring and my pinky finger back down to the fretboard as though I were playing that G originally. Except for now my 2nd finger is on the 5-string 3 fret, and my 1st finger is going to be on the 4-string 2 fret. So that's your C chord, to the G chord, to the E minor chord. You can make that E minor chord by leaving your ring and pinky on the fretboard and just move your 1st finger to the 5-string 2 fret and open up the 6th string. Or you can do a formal E minor. So you only hang on the E minor for like 1 beat, and then it runs to the D chord, and then back to the C chord. And it repeats like that. So C, C, G, G, E minor, E minor, D, C, 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 G, G, E minor, D, C. Then repeats back to the E minor, E minor, and then you go back into your intro, basically. Those are the chords and the movements to it. So it starts with the intro, it goes to the verse, it goes to the chorus, it goes back to the intro round. And then coming out of that second, I will say, coming out of that second intro round, it just bleeds back into the chorus again. There's not really another verse that runs. It just bleeds back into the chorus out of the last. It's kind of a lazier and smaller feel on the C chord, where I'm just strumming down the whole time, but it feels like you're hitting the upbeats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and C and 2 and 3 and 4 and G and 2 and 3 and E minor and 3 and 4 and then it picks close out the strumming more. So those are the chords and the movements to All Again by Charles Wesley Godwin. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to approach the song.